How do you assure with your own teams that they're always thinking business, then AI, strategy, then AI, brand, then AI?
Yeah, so I think for us, I think that for us it starts with that trust.
Right.
Starts with the internal team trust. Are we helping navigate that customer journey, and do we have a customer centric approach? So are the questions that we're asking about the customer, or are they about us?
Ah,
And if
good.
you get too introspective and you're focusing only on what you want to accomplish in whatever initiative you're trying to roll out, whether it's a new visualizer, a new lead strategy, a new fact finding process, leveraging AI, whatever that might be, if it's focusing on only what you want to accomplish and not the customer, you will miss nearly every time.
Yeah.
So if we keep that customer center of what we're trying to work on and what we're figuring out, then we're going to delight that customer experience. We're going to make it better, and then those things are naturally going to take hold. You won't have to force a new way of doing things if it improves the customer journey.
Absolutely. And with that said, we're seeing so much more automation in marketing now, but not more trust. Why do you think that's happening?
For us, we're a relationship business. And so it comes down to building those relationships. I mean, they rely on us. Our customers rely on us to be a partner. So if automation is gonna remove that accountability, or if it's gonna work against you in some way, we want to communicate. Like, we want to have a communication plan that like we just said, enhanced, but we're not taking the human fully out of the experience. Like, we
Right.
want to make sure there's ways we can inject that human into that process. I've got a kind of a personal story of that. I was at my home trying to find ways to move something into my house. I had purchased it from a vendor, so I didn't have it at my house yet. I didn't have a truck to get it to my house. So I had to have a moving company who didn't work for the company I purchased it for go pick it up and bring it to my house. Okay. So
Yep.
there's a little bit of movement in there. Are they going to be liable for it? Not liable for it? So, anyways, I called three customers one day. Customer A, I called and didn't hear back till the end of the day. Customer B, I called and had a full automated experience with an AI bot, not a single interaction with a human being.
Uh,
And I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the third call, I left a message and had a call back in 30 minutes. So again, three different, completely different experiences. One I never really heard back from that day, fully automated experience, and one I heard back from 30 minutes. Well, I'll talk about the automated experience. I was overwhelmed with how great it was on
yeah.
one side. I mean, it was so natural. I could tell that there was some delay and some prompts, but it was just so clean. It answered every question for most part, every question I had. But there was two outstanding questions, and it asked me the prompts that it wanted to get to build my quote. Well, it had
Right.
me a quote in a matter of minutes. Like, it built my quote, sent me a quote to my inbox. But the two things it couldn't kind of decipher on was how big was my hill in the back? Could they get it down the stairs? And what were the weights of the equipment? They had a range, but they just couldn't gauge, could they get down that type of a hill with what. Anyways, so
Right.
they left some buffer in there in their quote. They leveled up their quote.
Yeah.
So I got a quick quote and I had a really fun experience. But
Yeah.
the next company called me back in 30 minutes. They understood my problems. They got down to the heart of what I was trying.
The
What I was
human
trying.
element.
They knew 35 years of experience. I talked to the owner. There was a level of trust, and we sorted through the issues that the bot couldn't get to,
Hmm.
and they had a better price because they didn't have to do the unknowns. So, long story for me, anyways, is that bot, again, for them, that third company probably had something trigger them that they need to call back right away.
Right.
I got an email notification right away, but they levered the automation and the relationship together. They married them and had a great experience.
Yeah.
The first one never heard back.
Yeah.
They didn't have any automation in place, and they didn't even get the phone call back.
Yeah. Well, and that human element is ultimately what is more trustworthy no matter what. We are unemotional with a bot. We are not as emotional with a bot as we are with someone that, you can see, that you can hear their voice, that can ask the questions. And there's certainly a good time and place for bots.
Yeah,
But this is such a great example of how not to use it.
yeah, yeah. So again, three companies, one no automation, one full automation, one with a blended strategy. And that blended strategy for me, again, every customer is
Yeah.
different, but that I built trust. I believed what they were doing. I knew that if I had a problem, I could call Steve back because I talked
Yeah.
to Steve. Didn't know who I talked to in that middle one, and I never talked to someone on the first one. So it's
Yeah.
amazing how that integrated strategy in both, our own personal lives as well as B2B businesses, man, if you can integrate the automation with that personal experience, you're going to have a great customer journey.
Well, and what you're talking about is authenticity. It is very, very difficult for an AI bot to be authentic. Why do you think that is so important in today's marketing?
Yeah, I think, people want to see themselves in whatever. Just like we talked about advertising, and you know this very well. People want to see themselves in their advertising. So, for us, we focus on all ages and all abilities. We want everyone to see themselves when they come to the park, they can have something to do in that park. And so we want to see ourselves in those things. And so when you're having that interaction, I think again, blending the automation with the personal, man, you and I, here we are talking today. You
Yeah.
could have sent me a script and done it fully automated, and you and I would never have had to meet. But
Mhm.
having a conversation with you, I trust now your company, I trust what you do. We're able to kind of work through issues here. So this is how business been done for so long. So if we can enhance but build that personal trust in with your business, man, you'll be a dangerous company.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and you've been able to achieve that for a lot of the brands that you've worked on. You've mentioned a trust framework that you've got, and these trust frameworks really help create that consistent strategy across all business units.